Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody, and thank you very much for coming. It is my distinct pleasure, on behalf of the Government of Bermuda, to announce that the Ministry of Community, Culture and Sports has developed a partnership with the Ed Block Courage Award Foundation, Inc., a nonprofit corporation in the state of Maryland, United States of America, which raises awareness and funds for the prevention of child abuse through the Courage House National Network for Kids and its affiliation with the National Football League. I wish to first acknowledge the presence of Bermuda's own Mr. David Bascom, who has played a key role in developing the partnership with the Ed Block Foundation. Indeed, the initial overtures were made by David using his tremendous network of influential contacts, having lived in Baltimore for many years as a soccer player and more recently as assistant coach with the Baltimore Blast soccer team. It was David's vision that we develop a sustainable relationship with the Ed Block Foundation to enhance our ability to leverage the benefit of Courage House affiliations in terms of outreach and treatment of some of our young people. Our interest in collaborating with the Ed Block Courage Award Foundation is twofold. First, we see an alignment of objectives in terms of working to improve the lives of abused and at-risk children. In order to further this objective, we have agreed that the residential treatment services within the Department of Child and Family Services will become the first international Courage House and benefit from networking within the Courage House National Network for Kids, and also the fundraising efforts of the foundation itself. The Courage House Network currently includes 24 Courage Houses sponsored by the National Football League teams located in 24 cities across the U.S. I understand that it is the Foundation's goal to establish a Courage House in each of the 32 cities with NFL teams. I will leave that to Mr. John Cibula, the president of the Ed Block Courage Award Foundation, who is with us here today, to expand on the work of the foundation and the establishment of Courage Houses. However, let me say firstly that government is excited and honored to partner with the foundation and to establish RTS as the first international Courage House. The second reason for partnering with the foundation is because they are intricately involved with sports through their affiliation with the National Football League. Part of our ministry's mandate is to develop sports, and the promotion of sports tourism is consistent with our national sports policy released last year. In this regard, we will explore opportunities for sports tourism, but we will also seek ways to collaborate and build on how we are using sports in Bermuda to enhance character in our youth. In support of both of these objectives, I am pleased to announce that Bermuda will host an Ed Block Courage Award Foundation event in Bermuda in July of 2015. The event will feature several National Football League players who have been awarded the prestigious Ed Block Courage Award, and will be used to provide an opportunity for NFL players to engage in outreach with RTS residents as well as school children more generally. In addition to the outreach I have just mentioned, the event, which will take place from July 12th to 14th, 2015, will feature a VIP reception, a golf tournament, and a cruise to raise funds for RTS through the sale of sponsorship packages, which will shortly be available for purchase by corporations and other interested parties. I'm going to ask Mr. John Cibula of the Ed Block Courage Award Foundation to say a few words about the foundation's work in the upcoming event. But before doing so, I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to acknowledge former Minister of this department, Wayne Scott, under whose leadership and initiative that this initiative commenced. And I was really just brought into the picture to really mop up something that I believe will inure to the benefit of our young people. And I think that the efforts that he put forward and the continuum that I'm able to achieve through following on with this project is something that are noteworthy and certainly something of which I'm tremendously proud. So with that, I would invite Mr. Cibula to come and have a few words with respect to the Ed Block Courage Award and the foundation.
Thank you, everyone, and good morning. Without trying to single out any person in particular, I'd like to say a special thanks to everyone on the island that has facilitated this new partnership between the Ed Block Courage Award Foundation and the island of Bermuda. It is our mutual vision and goal that by dedicating the RTS facility as a chartered Courage House, that we will positively influence the lives of abused and at-risk children on the island. So anyway, who is Ed Block and who is the Ed Block Courage Award Foundation? Ed Block was one of the founders that started this foundation 37 years ago, so we've been around for quite a while. Ed Block was the first trainer for the Baltimore Colts for 25 years, and he was probably one of the most compassionate men that ever walked the face of the earth. One of his favorite sayings was, "By virtue of you coming here and reading this, you are among the compassionate of the world. No higher accolade can be given than being the most compassionate in the world. Compassion is the soul of all religion. Compassion is the noble way of life and a great guide for a truly noble heart." Ed will be remembered as one of the most educated athletic trainers of his day. He worked with children. He obviously worked with the NFL players. When he attended events for children, it would bring tears to his eyes to work with them and help them. He was quite the gentleman. The foundation continues with his work and philosophy, and we have, as I said, as the minister said, we have now 24 cities across the country. I hope to have at least all the 32 cities covered by the end of 2016. That's my goal. Our mission, we're dedicated to raising the awareness and prevention for abused and neglected and at-risk children. Through the cooperative efforts of the Foundation, the NFL Players Association, the NFL Alumni Association, NFL Films, the Professional Athlete Trainers Society, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame, we have allowed this dream to grow. Today, the Ed Block Courage Awards event is heralded as one of the most prestigious in the NFL, and the Foundation has expanded its scope, recognition, and charitable efforts to a highly visible national level. On a nationwide basis, the Foundation has formulated a Courage House support network for kids through the dedication of Courage Houses in the 24 cities. The Foundation also sponsors the Baltimore Sports Media of Fame Award and the Professional Football Athletic Training Staff of the Year Award. And each year when we bring the 32 NFL players to Baltimore for their awards, we also bring in one of the training staff from one of the football players that has been chosen that year to be the top training staff. We have engaged in a partnership with the people of Bermuda to dedicate our first International Courage House. Having spent many hours with many of you, we have jointly come to realize that our mutually beneficial partnership will produce a lasting positive influence on the children of Bermuda whose lives we will touch. At this point, I'd like to turn this over to the Director of Communications, Mr. Paul Mittermeier, and to your native son, David Bascom, to speak towards the vision and the goals that we now share. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Mittermeier, obviously the Director of Communications for the Foundation. We're very excited to bring our event outreach program to the island of Bermuda. We're successful at promoting our foundation through our event up in Baltimore and our annual gala that we do. We just did it back in March up in Baltimore. It was a huge success. It helps us raise awareness and prevention of child abuse. But the most important part of what we do is how involved our players are in the community. We're very excited to bring our guys to down here to the outreach blueprint that we do in Baltimore to the island of Bermuda. During the time the players are here, they're going to spend time at T.N. Tatum Middle School with the kids, and they're also going to visit the residential treatment system. This will be a day where the NFL role models will be spending time with young people here on the island. It's an amazing partnership to watch, and I've been with the foundation for 8 years, and I'm still here with the foundation because of watching that relationship and what those players mean to those kids. And I'm so excited to bring that here to the island because it's a huge benefit. Some of the players that we'll be bringing down here were in similar situations growing up that some of the kids here on the island are in at this point. I get excited when guys like Dwayne Allen from the Indianapolis Colts or Scott Wells from the St. Louis Rams tell me that, yes, they want to participate here, but it's not about the golf for them. It's about visiting with the kids and trying to make a difference for them. That makes me excited. Some of the other players that are scheduled to attend our event are Brian Cushing from the Houston Texans, Morgan Cox from the Baltimore Ravens, Tyrann Mathieu from the Arizona Cardinals, and from the Buffalo Bills, Chris Kelsay. And we'll have a full list of guys that are going to attend within the next month. This event, though, is not the only benefit that the island of Bermuda will see from this partnership. It's about sustainability. I want to now introduce David Bascom. David and I go way back. David brought me to the island all the way back in 2007 with the ISL, and I just can't thank him enough for that opportunity and being able to make a difference down here. David's been involved with our foundation for 5 years now, and he really was the driving force in making this happen, and I want him to come up and explain all the other benefits that we'll see with this partnership. David?
Morning. As a Bermudian and a former professional soccer player, football player we call in Bermuda, it is my job to give back to my country and also find ways to help the community, to help my young people to be successful, and to give my young people hope. In my journey, I have been able to make many connections with many professional sport athletes. The relationship with the Ed Block Foundation and the NFL players will help create opportunities way beyond for the RTS and our community in Bermuda. Now, some may look at this and this relationship as just as an NFL event. I ask you and I plead to you to see more, see much more. See professional athletes' voices to help empower our young people in our community. See, I want you to see a strong network that we will develop for the RTS staff, especially when they're trying to fulfill the vision of success. I want you to see a collaboration with other major sports groups that will help broaden our young people's vision. I want you to see opportunities and hope given to the RTS residents. I want you to see a shared vision being processed, a sustainable process. A process is not just a band-aid solution, a process that's going to be here even when we're gone. A process that's going to help develop our young people and give them hope in our 21st century. I want you to see hope. I want you to see empowerment. I want you to see RTS and our community develop. This will be a 12-month process. This will be a process of development. This will be a shared vision with RTS, the community, and Ed Block Foundation. I will be working here and coming back and working with RTS each month throughout the year and to help towards RTS goals. I will continue to provide everything and every opportunity in my power to help our young people believe that they are not in this struggle alone on their journey. Thank you.
That concludes the remarks, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you have any idea how many young children will benefit from this program?
Do you want to take it? Initially, we're looking to include the children who are residents of the residential treatment center. However, through you heard that TN Tatum is going to be the hub. David Bascom has a network going in that school, and we're trying to broaden it to include as many children as possible on the island while the players are actually in town. So the numbers
Yes.
might be able to give you a better idea.
Just to give you an idea is that right now we're working with TN Tatum. And TN Tatum, we're working with 30 young people at TN Tatum. And I say we run a process that's called the Power of One to give our young people, empower them to give them hope. We are looking to use the same method with a shared vision with RTS to work with the RTS residents. From that point, the goal and the vision of this is to build them as leaders, Now, from that, we will scale out in the community, and they will also be leaders in the community to help others. So once the process is done to make this sustainable, we are looking to now take the group, take the leaders, and move into different schools.
Okay.
July is predominantly school is out. How do you plan to keep the kids that will be out of school back around that same area to get benefit from these players' information, life, dreams, and hope?
You can address
Yes,
that.
it's very interesting that that you asked that question, because the relationship goes beyond just working in schools. The relationship goes with community groups. We have a strong relationship, obviously, with the Youth and Sport. Has their projects and programs that will be running through the summer. They have after-school programs. This is why this makes us a joy, because collaboration, and there are young people that's going to be working, you know, inside the Youth and Sport program. We'll be feeding off that process as well.
All right, David, the fact that you're going to have some NFL players on the island, what does it do for the sports side? We have a lot of kids who are challenged, but sports is a way for them to express themselves. What on the sports side, how are you planning to ensure that the players get their message across to some of these troubled youth?
That's so important you ask that question, because one of the main things is that making sure the NFL players understand our culture, understand what our challenges are with sports, and they deliver a message that everybody's going to be singing that same song. So it would not be, hey guys, great, stay in school. It's going to be based around the issues or situations we're having here. We go, and NFL players, even the NBA, I mean, and even traveling around, we travel to different cultures, and the message does change. The message is different. What we will see even from these players, we will be linked in with many other groups, sports groups. This partnership is now going to bring in from the NBA players. Is going to bring other partnerships involved, straight down to swimming. There's a strong connection with the AdBlock Foundation and also my company, Bascom Enterprise. So we're trying to make sure we engage, but I think also is that I know I have to learn more with the governing bodies of sports to find out their needs and how we can help.
No, that is a big challenge you put on yourself and for AdBlock to come to Bermuda. It's new, it's innovative, but the message is always the same around the world. There are a lot of kids struggling, there are a lot of families struggling, children have challenges, and a lot of them hold that within. The consulates that you're planning to, or the message you're planning to help the consulates understand is how to get that message out, and the NFL players will help to provide that type of giving people their life, their message.
Yes, that's exactly it. We all go through things. We all go through it, and as sports is a safe place for many young people. It was my safe place, and we only heal through being successful in that sport, many of us, but some don't get the chance to reach those goals. So we want to make sure that the message that the NFL players are given is not only a message to say, okay, well, you know what, I've been through this and I understand your struggle, but help them to give them tools, little things on how they became successful. But the collaboration piece is so important. At the outreach process of this whole event, we are going to be encouraging and looking for some of the local heroes to come from swimming, track and field, if it's the old softball. I mean, we're trying to get everybody to engage in this outreach, so we're using this as a carrot to bring us together.
All right. At TN Tatum, Mr. Bascom mentioned the Power of One program. We have 30 kids. How are they recepting the information that's being distributed, and the fact that they're able to talk about different situations amongst themselves and feel comfortable in doing so?
Well, at TN Tatum, the Power One students I'm surprised at myself that they're actually embracing the program. I mean, they can't wait till Mr. Bascom come back. When is the next program? I mean, they're doing what they have to do. I have seen changes in some of them, and some of the other kids that's not in the program, like Miss Bean, when can I join the program? So it's going, it's a slow start, but it is going along nicely. So still a lot of work, but they're embracing it. Like I said, they're learning from it. I'm learning from them, so.
Now, the fact that this has now been announced that there's going to be current NFL players going to be available to talk to them, to share messages with them, to actually interact with them? How have the kids lit up from just that being told to them?
They are excited. The siblings, the friends. I asked him, Miss Bean, just yesterday, Miss Bean, are the NFL players coming today? I'm like, no, sweetie, not today. Actually, it was one of them was your son that asked. But before that being said, I had the privilege of being overseas to actually get involved with the Ed Block Foundation last month, and it was awesome to actually see the NFL players interacting with the kids, getting down to that level. I think the kids here in Bermuda, don't get me excited. I'm excited. So